Hey everybody, it's Vicki with Dementia with Grace. I hope y'all are doing great today. We are in the third of our series of the ABCs of FAQs, the most commonly asked questions about dementia, and we're doing it as the ABCs. C is for clock test. That is a very common, quick little test that can be done in the office, in a doctor's office, in a psychiatrist's office. Nurses, social workers, lots of people can administer it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like today and what some of the errors look like and kind of what they mean. If you missed A and B, A is on activities, B is on bathing, and those videos, I will link them down below. But let's get started on the clock test, and I'm going to show you what would happen. Okay, so the best way to do it is to give a person a blank piece of paper, not have a clock face drawn. Now, some people have the clock face drawn, but there's telling information about how big the clock face is or how little the clock face is. If it's a little clock face, like less than an inch and a half, that is telling. If it takes up the whole entire piece of paper, that is telling. You want somebody to use, a circle. You want it to be a circle, a good circle, and not like a circle like that, or a clock like this. You're looking for a traditional clock face, okay? Then the way that I do it, but that you don't see it done with somebody with dementia, is I put my key times, and then I put in my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you tell them that you want them to draw the time of 10 after 11. And you just say that, 10 after 11. So here we're going to make our hands. Here's the hour hand on 11. That's the way I would do my clock. And the minute hand on 2. And make it, so the minute hand, is a little bit shorter than the hour hand. And so do it like that. Okay, so that is the way you would do it. Now, somebody with some deficits, their clock is not going to look like this. Their clock would be more like, for instance, they would draw the clock and maybe not put the hands, or not draw the hands, or draw the hands too far like that. They might do the numbers, but do 12, 11, 10, like do the numbers opposite, or they might do 12, 12, 12, 12, something like that. Or they might do, instead of doing the correct way here, when you said do 10 after 11, they might draw the 11 and then draw the 10, circle the 11, circle the 10. They might do the hands like that, because they're not planning enough to understand that it's 10 minutes after 11, you're actually going to be on the 2, not the 10. That would be a common misconception. Another thing that you see is somebody drawing their clock and putting all the numbers like this. And they might go up like that, and they might even continue to go 13, 14, like that, something like that, or they're all on this side. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and something like that, but they're all on this side. Or they could draw the circle, but they would do it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So there's lots of variations on the theme, and I'm going to put an article down below. I will link it down below, because I want these to be quick, and I want you to be able to get the information that you need. It's very, very interesting how a person with vascular dementia draws a clock versus a person with Alzheimer's versus a person with frontal-temporal versus a person with Parkinson's. It's going to be very different. And there's a very good article that I found that I'm going to share with you down here, down in the comments, so that you can kind of see, read specifically to your person's diagnosis, or just kind of see how your person would draw the clock. You absolutely can have them draw the clock at home. It could be very telling, and just give them a blank piece of paper and say, let's draw a clock and put the hands on 10 after 11. That's what you're wanting to say. Some people use different times. There was a reason why 10 after 11 was shown, because 10 doesn't come after 11 in the scheme of numbers. It's 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like that. And 10, if they can't totally think about what that means, 10 after 11, they're not thinking about the 2. They're hearing and they're in very concrete ways thinking about 10 and 11, not the concept of 10 minutes. And we know that people with dementia have a very hard time reading a clock, keeping up with time, understanding the concept of time, understanding yesterday, today, and tomorrow, understanding what 15 minutes is versus 30 minutes versus 12 hours. All of that gets the wires literally get tangled, and well, not literally, but you know what I mean. I mean, they just can't think it through. That is planning, that is executive functioning, all of those things. This can be very, very telling, and it's very interesting. And I will leave the link below to several articles. There's more than one. I will leave, some scholarly articles, but I'll also leave some very, very to the point, lay people verbiage articles so that you can understand it. So ask me any questions down below. Be sure and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're going to be doing a 26 video series. This is the third of that series on the ABCs of FAQs. And then we'll come up with another series title. There's already lots of videos on here about behavior management, about caregiving stress, and just things that pertain specifically to the caregiver and not necessarily just to the patient. Lots of videos. We have a support group over on Facebook. It is the Dementia with Grace Caregiver Support Group. I've got the book. I've got, there's lots of resources for you through the Dementia with Grace franchise. So please take advantage of all of that. I try to be very responsive to the questions and comments that are left down below, and try to get you what you need. Okay. All right. I will talk to y'all soon. We'll have another video on Wednesday. All right. Love y'all. Bye. Mwah.